This has to be the most fun I've had with a gaming laptop this year, and honestly, I think this is probably the best gaming laptop, especially at its price point. Hey guys, Thunder E here, and welcome to another video on the channel. This time we're covering the Acer Predator Helios Neo 16. Yes, that's a lot of names for a gaming laptop, but this is probably one of the best gaming laptops you will find this year. And if you're a gamer looking for a laptop, I'm already going to recommend it right off the bat that this is probably the laptop for you to pick up. Now you're wondering why. Now before we do that, go ahead, smash that subscribe button, notification icon so you'll be notified with more videos on the channel. So what makes this laptop special? Like, it looks pretty simple, it's gray, you've got the Predator logo there. It also weighs 6.17 pounds, so it's not too heavy and it's also not light at the same time. But this laptop comes with a lot of ports and features, but also comes with a lot of great gaming performance. You're going to see it throughout the video. I'm not going to even jump into benchmarks because we already know what the Intel 13 Gen can do. We've already seen what a 4060 can do, but what can it do within this laptop? Now, Acer has done a good job in packing a lot of features in here, and you can see the keyboard is nice and flush. You've got, of course, specified keys for your AWSD, as well as also the Predator button that allows you to go to the Predator Sense software. Now, this is a very comfortable keyboard. I do like the trackpad as well, but of course, when you're gaming, you're gonna be using a gaming mouse, so it really doesn't matter if you have a really good trackpad here. As I mentioned, in terms of specs, you're looking at an Intel 13 Gen processor. This actually has the 13700HX, which is a desktop class processor. You've also got an RTX 4060, yes, as well as 16 gigabytes of RAM, DDR5, and a terabyte of storage. Now, you can expand that storage, and this system is pretty easy to go ahead and open up. You flip it open, take out the screws. You do have 2 DIMM slots for your M2 drives, as well as also for expanding your RAM. You can go ahead and increase that RAM to 32 gigabytes if you want to. And I also added an extra drive, which easily shows up on the system here. In terms of the display, it's pretty solid. It's an LED display, nothing too special, although it does have supports up to 165 Hertz in terms of refresh rate, which is really nice and very solid. Now you've got a couple of things to note here. When you start gaming, you want to game at the best performance. And this system allows you to go through different fan modes or 2 different gameplay settings, from quiet to balance, from balance to performance, and then turbo. And you can quickly access that either through the Predator Sense software, which is nice and pretty straightforward, or you can tap this button right here. And that blue button, each time you tap it, it takes you through the cycles. But I want you to listen to the audio of the fan as it increases, as you go from quiet, balanced, performance, and turbo. And we'll talk about how it actually affects you gaming-wise. Okay, turbo is just super loud and not warranted. But what kind of performance do you get as you move across with this device? In terms of performance with all the different fan settings, we actually tested it with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and at quiet settings, with the fan at quiet, we got 87 frames per second at the highest settings of the game. And then when we moved over to balance, we jumped all the way up to 108 frames per second. So that's a huge jump right there. And then at performance, where of course the fan was much louder, we got performance at FPS at 112 frames per second. And then finally moving over to turbo, we got 116. So to me, the best is actually balanced because you get a higher frame rate, and also the fan isn't super loud at that point. Now, in terms of temperatures, we're getting around 102 to 105 while playing at balance. But when the fan was kicked on to turbo, it dropped down to 97 degrees. So there are benefits for going to turbo because of course it really cools down the system, but it's just super loud. Now, what about gaming performance while gaming on the system? Now, playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I got a maximum frame rate of 132 frames per second at resolution 2560 by 1600, and it worked out pretty well. I went over to try Red Dead Redemption 2, and I saw some interesting numbers there where playing Red Dead Redemption 2 at 2560 by 1600 max settings, I was able to get 90 frames per second, which was nice, 88 to 90 frames per second. And then when I dropped it down to 1080p, the resolution, I was able to get much higher frame rates and getting closer to 117 frames per second. So that was really solid. Now, what about Doom Eternal? I love playing this game. I'm stuck on the same stage as you probably guess. Doom Eternal, max settings, Ultra Nightmare, and also at 2560 by 1600, we're getting around 100, like 130 to 140 frames per second. So it ran really well. And these games are no slouch. And the performance that you see is something that you would expect time in and time out with this system. Now, this system not only has some really great gaming performance, but also has a ton of ports as well. On the right side, you've got two USB 3.2, USB-A 3.2 ports. And on the left side, you do have one extra USB-A 3.2 port, as well as also a micro SD card slot and a headphone and mic jack combined. And now the rear of this laptop, you do have HDMI 2.1 out, as well as also Thunderbolt 4.0, allowing you to get 40 gigabytes per second output and also connecting to an external monitor. This thing is pretty solid and balanced all the way through. Now, what about audio? Well, let's put it this way. If you're gaming on this, you want to be wearing a headset, because if you're going to be using the fan at its highest, at turbo, you're not going to hear your games that much. But here's a quick sample of what the speaker actually brings to the table.
Didn't seem to be going too well. Goddamn O'Driscoll boys here.
They're okay. Nothing special. A bit quiet and also not a lot of bass behind it, but we care about performance and this laptop delivers. And here's the big kicker, is the price point. It starts off at $999 for the Core i5 variant with a 4050. This here is a Core i7 13700HX with a 4060 graphics card, and you're getting top tier performance from the system, and it's priced at $1,349. So honestly, this is a steal, and I think it's worth picking up. So if you guys have any questions or any comments about this gaming laptop, let me know. If you want to pick one up, use our link down below. Also comes with this Predator carrying pouch, which is pretty nice, so you can actually use it with you on the go. I really like this. I think this is just a solid buy. There's nothing too crazy, doesn't look super sexy or anything, but it just gives you the performance that you're looking for as a gamer. So again, use our links. Thank you, and always enjoy your entertainment. So Apple is really serious about console level gaming on the iPhone. And we saw the announcement of Resident Evil Village during the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max launch. Got to play the game. The game's available now. It plays really well. It looks really good. But that's not where they're stopping. There are more games coming out. And I got to check out more games coming to the iPhone that I think you guys are going to love. Now, the first one I want to talk about is The Division Resurgence. This is a mobile first game. It takes place basically before the original Division series, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. It feels and looks like a console game on your iPhone. Now, control-wise, you have touch controls on here, which you can use, but you can also use a controller like the Backbone controller, and it plays very well. Honestly, I was impressed with the gameplay, and I was there for quite a bit of time. Now, you can continue this and play it on your iPad as well, and on the iPad, it also takes advantage of the bigger display and also of course, the M-chip processor on there, giving you a very, very smooth gaming experience from what I experienced here at the showcase. Now, another game that I got to check out, but I couldn't really record because it was a really early beta, is Death Stranding. Now, it's available on the Mac, but you will be getting it on the iPhone, and it looks really good. But for me personally, it's all about Resident Evil 4. I remember that's a game that I got on my GameCube way back when it first came out, and that game was awesome, and it looks really good on the iPhone and the iPad and the Mac. Now, you'll be able to get the game across all three systems with just one purchase. So basically, within the Apple ecosystem, you can get yourself one game that goes all across the board. Now, how does it feel playing on the iPhone? It's very smooth, it feels really solid graphically, it looks great on the iPhone, and of course the controls with your backbone controller or a controller like that just felt really smooth. Now playing it on the iPad, it felt like another step up there again. It's got the bigger real estate, and I can see myself playing this on the road quite a bit. It looked nice, it played really well, and graphically, yeah, it's up there. It is really up there. Plus, you can also continue that experience on your MacBook as well. So that is something that I think takes this experience into a very different level where you can do it across your devices. So say for instance, you know, you're at home and you have like a Mac at home, you can play on your iMac if you want to, because it has an M series chip there, the new iMac 24-inch, or on your MacBook M3. You can also play on your iPad, your M series iPad, as well as also in your iPhone. So think about that. That is an impressive spread of these games. Now there will be more games like this. Resident Evil 4 comes out on December 20th. So if you guys want me to cover this game, let me know. But if you want me to cover more console level games coming on the iPhone and the Apple ecosystem, I'm here for it. Because you know, guys, I love my games. So leave your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and let me know what games you want to see next that is console level in the Apple ecosystem, and especially on the iPhone. This is Thunder E saying thank you, and always enjoy your entertainment.